Hello and welcome back to Cozy English. Have you ever looked around and felt like everyone is running on a hamster wheel? We're all so busy rushing from one task to another, our calendars packed, our to-do lists endless. But if you stop and ask, are you happy? You often get a hesitant pause, a shrug, or a tired sigh. It seems like in our modern world, everyone is busy but nobody is truly happy. Today, let's explore this paradox together. Why has busy become our default state, and why isn't it making us happier? First, let's talk about the cult of busy. In many cultures, being busy is seen as a badge of honor. It's a sign of importance, productivity, and success. When someone asks, "How are you?" a common reply is, "So busy." We say it almost proudly as if it proves our worth. Social media amplifies this. We see feeds full of people accomplishing amazing things, launching businesses, traveling the world, and juggling a million projects. It creates a pressure to keep up, to fill every moment of our day with something productive. If we're not busy, we might feel lazy or worse, like we're falling behind. This fear of missing out, or FOMO, drives us to take on more than we can handle, believing that a full schedule equals a full life. But does it really? The problem is this constant busyness often comes at a high cost. It can lead to chronic stress, burnout, and a feeling of being overwhelmed. When we're always rushing, we don't have time for the things that truly nourish our souls. We sacrifice sleep, skip meals, and neglect our relationships. We're so focused on the next thing on our list that we forget to enjoy the present moment. Think about it. When was the last time you just sat and did nothing without feeling guilty? When was the last time you had a deep, unheard conversation with a friend, or truly savored a meal without checking your phone? This is the core of the issue. We're so occupied with doing things that we forget how to simply be. This brings me to the difference between being busy and being productive. They are not the same thing. Being busy often means your day is filled with activities, but many of them might be trivial, unimportant, or just filler. It's like running in place. You're expending a lot of energy, but you're not actually going anywhere. Being productive, on the other hand, is about making meaningful progress toward your goals. It's about focusing on what truly matters and using your time and energy wisely. A productive person might have a less packed schedule than a busy person, but they achieve more significant results. They understand the power of prioritizing and saying no to things that don't align with their values. So how do we escape this busy trap and find a healthier, happier balance? The first step is to shift our mindset. We need to stop glorifying busyness. Let's start celebrating rest, relaxation, and stillness. It's okay to have an empty evening on your calendar. It's not a sign of failure. It's an opportunity for rest, reflection, or spontaneity. We need to redefine what success looks like. Is it having a jam-packed schedule, or is it feeling content, connected, and at peace? Next, we need to become more intentional with our time. Instead of letting our days fill up randomly, let's take control. A great way to start is by doing a time audit. For a week, track how you spend your hours. You might be surprised to see how much time is spent on things that don't add value to your life, like mindless scrolling on social media or attending meetings that could have been an email. Once you know where your time goes, you can start making conscious choices. A powerful technique for this is to identify your rocks. Imagine you have a large jar. The jar represents your time. You also have some big rocks, some pebbles, and some sand. The big rocks are your most important priorities in life, your health, your family, your core values, your most meaningful work. The pebbles are the smaller, less critical tasks. The sand is all the trivial stuff, the distractions. If you fill the jar with sand and pebbles first, there won't be any room for the big rocks. But if you put the big rocks in first, the pebbles and sand can fill in the gaps around them. So at the start of each week or even each day, identify your big rocks. What are the one or two things that are most important for you to accomplish? Schedule them first. Make them non-negotiable. Then you can fit the other things in around them. This ensures that you're always making time for what truly matters. Another crucial skill is learning to say no. This can be really difficult, especially if we want to be helpful or don't want to disappoint others. But every time we say yes to something, we are implicitly saying no to something else. If you say yes to working late, you might be saying no to having dinner with your family. If you say yes to a social event you don't really want to attend, you're saying no to an evening of rest. Saying no isn't selfish, it's a form of self-respect. It's about protecting your time and energy for your own priorities. You can do it politely but firmly. For example, you could say, "Thank you so much for the offer, but I'm not able to commit to that right now." You don't always need to provide a long explanation. We also need to actively schedule downtime. Just as you schedule meetings and appointments, you should schedule time for rest, hobbies, and connection. Read a book for 30 minutes or go for a walk in the park on your calendar. Treat this time with the same importance as a work deadline. This is your time to recharge your batteries. Without it, you'll eventually run out of energy and become less effective in everything you do. Remember, rest is not a luxury. It's a necessity for a happy and productive life. Let's also talk about the role of technology. Our smartphones are powerful tools, but they are also masters of distraction. The constant notifications, emails, and social media updates keep our brains in a state of high alert. They pull us out of the present moment and make it difficult to focus deeply on any one task. To reclaim our peace and happiness, we need to set boundaries with our devices. Try scheduling specific times to check your email and social media, rather than being reactive to every notification. Consider creating tech-free zones or times in your home, like during meals or in the bedroom. Turning off non-essential notifications can be a game changer. These small adjustments can help you feel less scattered and more present in your own life. Finally, it's about finding joy in the small things. Happiness isn't always found in big achievements or grand adventures. It's often hidden in the simple, everyday moments that we tend to rush past. The warmth of a cup of coffee in the morning, the sound of birds singing outside your window, a shared laugh with a loved one. When we're constantly busy, we miss these moments. Practicing mindfulness can help us tune back in. It's the simple practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. You don't need to meditate for an hour a day. You can practice mindfulness while washing the dishes, walking to work, or eating a meal. Just focus on your senses. What do you see, hear, smell, taste, and feel? This simple act can ground you in the present and help you find pockets of peace and happiness throughout your busy day. In conclusion, the belief that being busy leads to happiness is a myth. More often than not, it leads to stress, burnout, and a feeling of disconnect. True happiness and fulfillment come not from doing more, but from doing what matters. It comes from being intentional with our time, protecting our energy, and making space for rest, connection, and joy. So I encourage you to take a step back from the cult of busy. Look at your life and ask yourself, is this busyness truly making me happy? If the answer is no, know that you have the power to change it. Start small. Identify one big rock. Say no to one thing that drains you. Schedule 15 minutes of quiet time. It's not about a complete overhaul overnight, but about taking small, consistent steps toward a life that is not just full, but fulfilling. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this gives you some food for thought. What are your strategies for avoiding the busy trap? Share your ideas in the comments below. I love reading them. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more cozy English. See you next time.